Everybody, Tanya with Adventures of Spirits. Today we will be doing a World Traveler Drink Challenge. There's multiple drinks in here. It was actually a gift. Today we're just going to do the ones that includes vodka and gin. And I also have a special guest. Mr. Johnson is here today. And we're also going to give you a review about our recent trip to the Riu Dunmar in Cancun. Be right back.
Perfect.
Hey, honey.
Hey.
Finally get you on my channel. You live here, and it's hard to get you on the channel. Why is that?
Because somebody working and paying the bills.
Oh, whatever. Hey, everybody. Tanya, Adventure of Spirits here, and today I have hubby here today. Mr. Johnson, Timothy, TJ. What you want them to call him? TJ. So, you know, he doesn't drink as wide as a selection that I drink. So today we're drinking mainly vodka, and the closest thing to that is also gin. So that's why I'm inviting him today, and he's agreed to do a review with me. So this was actually a gift that I was given. It's called the World Traveler Drink Challenge, and this was given to me by a coworker. I think this was 2 Christmases ago, and I said, you know what, I need to open this and actually, experience this. So in here, there are a variety of mixes in here where all I have to do is add the alcohol. And we have the drinks that we're able to make out of this are, this is the rum drinks: mojito, caipirinha, passion fruits, and blue lagoon are for the rums. For the vodkas, we can make an espresso martini, a Moscow Mule. I think those are the only 2 vodkas. Then there's one with gin, and it is called the Singapore Sling. Then we have two with red wine, a sangria, and a mulled wine. And then, of course, with tequila, a classic margarita. So, out of these drinks for today, we are actually going to focus on the Espresso Martini, the Moscow Mule with vodka, and also the Singapore Sling with gin. So that's good for you?
Yes.
Because you said you didn't like rum and make your head hurt.
Yeah, I don't like rum.
What's wrong with rum?
Make my head hurt.
Why make your head hurt? What about the tequila?
Don't make my head hurt. Rum make my head hurt. Sugar.
Okay. You know what? I think that's why I make my head hurt too.
It's the sugar.
But see, my head only hurts with the high proof rum. The regular rum is fine, but when I drink the high proof, it makes my head hurt.
It's the sugar. The sweetness
It's the
of
sugar?
rum. Yes.
Okay. Well, that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna open this up and take out the ones that I was just referring to. So we are going to do the Singapore Sling. That's this one. The Espresso Martini. This one. And the Moscow Mule. Where are you? Oh, here it goes. The little one. Moscow Mule. Alright. So I'm gonna go put this over to the left. And so we're gonna focus on these. But at the same time, as we're making these cocktails, because we're actually gonna share the cocktail, so you mind us sharing the cocktail? We can share the cocktail.
Yeah.
Get a straw, 2 straws from over there. 2 of the little straws, yeah. That way we'll have it. Get 6 of them. 2 straws for each drink. So most recently we had we went on a trip for our anniversary, and we went to
Riu.
right the Riu Dunmar, but it was in what part was it? Costa Mujeres or Isla Mujeres? Was it Costa Mujeres?
It might be Costa Mujeres.
The other side of Cancun. So our experience there was we may or may not agree on it, but basically it is actually it's really wasn't a good experience. Basically, not overall. It was okay. It was nice to get away. It's just that when we're used to certain resorts and stuff. What you grinning at? What are you laughing at?
I'm going to keep it 100. It was our anniversary trip, and I planned the trip, but because we got so many trips we do a year, we travel more than the average person. Or maybe not, but we do about 6 trips a year. So because we got 4 more trips planned, so I kind of got a package deal on that, and we flew on Frontier. That was included in the package.
Well, I put it this way. In short, I'm just going to say I will never fly Frontier again. Delta is the way to go, or American, or United. Heck, I'll even do Southwest. But Frontier, no more. And you can click this at the end of the video. I will attach. You can actually go to my other channel, which is my experience channel, my non-spirits channel, where I actually have a review about Frontier Airlines, and I think that everyone needs to view that before they book it or go on it. I mean, you may not agree with me, but those that are used to certain airline amenities, customer service, cost and prices, I would recommend looking at that review in reference to Frontier. But we're going to talk about at least the good stuff, which is the Riu Dunmar.
I want to go back and add a little spice. The Riu has really came up. We did the Riu years ago when we first got married. We would celebrate our 23rd wedding anniversary. So it's been a minute since we did the Riu, but the Riu is really came up, changed the game. They got an app that's die for. You know, that app, it tell you all the activities, got global positioning view, tell you where the bathroom is, restroom, restaurants, everything. I've never been to a resort that had an app that worked like that. So the Riu is definitely making a come up. But they partner with Frontier to get people over there.
Well, they partner with the wrong person. So let's talk about the good and then the bad. Okay, so which one you want to start with first, the good or the bad?
You know, I would start with good.
You want to start with the good? Okay, so let's talk about the good. Okay, so what was one of your goods?
Well, one of the goods to me was the price. Compared to Delta, I'm going to reveal the price. The price was $2,100 for 5 days, airfare included. Looked at the same resort with Delta, it was $3,800. So that was a big difference in price, flying Delta versus Frontier. So to me, being affordable, that was the good for me.
I agree with the price, but then again, I didn't pay for it. So price from 1 to 5 is what? 5. Okay. So before we finish going into our conversation, which one did you want me to make first? The gin or the 2 vodka? The vodka's one? Okay. All right. So we're going to start off with the Espresso Martini. So this is Espresso Martini. It's basically, and I have a little snippet of exactly what it is. Give me a moment. Let me pull it up in my notes. And the Espresso Martini is also known as a vodka espresso. It's a cold caffeinated alcoholic drink made with espresso, coffee liqueur, and vodka. It is not a true martini because it doesn't have vermouth in it, okay, or nor gin. But it is one of the many drinks that incorporate the term martini into their names. Now, I guess it's just what they name it and what type of glass that they put it in. But according to this package here, the only thing I need to mix with this bottle is a shot of vodka with some ice and then strain it. That is it. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one we're gonna make is the Singapore Sling, and the Singapore Sling only requires this bottle and a shot of gin, and that is it. The Moscow Mule is a vodka drink, and it's just this mixer with a shot of vodka and a shot of ginger beer. So we'll mix these up while we're still talking about the reviews, and I'll let you lead us on that conversation while I mix it, go through each category, and I tell you if from a score of 1 to 5, everyone. So 1 being poor, 5 being excellent, 2 being below average, 3 average, 4 above average, 5 was excellent. So go ahead.
I would say the resort for its cleanliness, it was excellent. I would give the resort cleanliness a 5. Well maintained. The staff made sure everything was clean. They cleaned constantly. Didn't see a lot of filth or what you could see at some resorts where you see people eating through stuff, that dump trash on the ground and people walk around it to the end of the day. The staff cleaned up all the time regularly. And even down to the beach. The beach had a little bit of seaweed, but they was also down there raking the beach.
It didn't have seaweed on there.
It did have a little bit.
Where is it? But it wasn't on the shoreline.
It was a little bit coming on the shoreline. That's why they was down there cleaning it up. And the sand was awesome. But one other thing I will say, they did have plenty of chairs, plenty of lawn chairs for you to lounge around the pool. They had 2 pool bars that had the nice chairs in them, and it was excellent. And because it was spring break time, the resort was filled to capacity. So that was one of the things that I thought it still flowed very well, being completely full.
Okay.
But for its cleanliness and everything, being full to capacity, it still got a 5.
Yes, I would give it a 5 for cleanliness. That's one thing guaranteed, that it was definitely worth everything there. Basically, it was the rooms were clean, the grounds were clean, the pool was clean, the beach was clean, the restaurant was clean. It really, was exceptionally clean from the outside all the way to the inside. And since it's a new resort, a lot of the greenery outside was, you can tell, it's just started growing because they were only, 2 years old? 2 years old? Yeah. It was just 2 years old, and I know it's going to be beautiful in the next couple of years, but they also had a lot of property, a lot of land. So that was a good thing. I'm going to take this up.
Also, between that property and a sister property, they had a water park. So they had a sister property next to where we were, and they had a water park with full slides. I mean, it was just like a water park at Six Flags. So the kids had a ball. And if you was a grown-up with a kid at heart, you can go over there and have a ball as well. So that was another thing that went along with the excellence of the resort. That water park really was another major attraction.
Well, I mean, in terms of the water park, it's fine there, but you had to go to the other resort to get into it and stuff and walk to, and that was fine. It's just that I think that it was just, let's just say, to me, it was just a little displaced. I didn't see like
the resort was shared between, so it was dead center between the sister resort. So neither one of the resorts owned it, so it was like dead center. So people from the sister resort could come over, use the water park, and a lot of people came over to the Riu for some of their amenities at night, some of the shows and all of that stuff, which we'll get to in our next point. So the cleanliness and everything, that's a 5. So now let's move on to entertainment. So entertainment, I have to give them, once again, another 5. They had a neon night, and I mean, those people danced for 4 hours straight. Well, they had people giving them breaks. Like, one dancer will go up there and the other one will get down, and you will see them take breaks and stuff. So they kept them where they're taking breaks and fed and they drink and stuff, stay hydrated. So they had that, and we missed the white party. So they alternate on Friday night. So they had tonight they have neon night. Next Friday will be white night. But like I said, the entertainment is excellent. I mean, they had enough room for everybody. They had enough chairs. The bars, they had 3 bars where the entertainment was set up at. So you had plenty of time to get plenty of drinks. So the entertainment was definitely a 5. And they had people, because it was 2 other Rius that was close in vicinity. The Italian, and I can't think of the other name of the other one, but it was
like a culinary one.
Yes, it was 4 altogether in that vicinity, and they all came to the Riu that we was located at for the entertainment of it. So I guess that put on the best show.
I gave the entertainment a 5. It was definitely the entertainment. They sang well, they danced well, very professional, very energetic. No, you know how you get that one person that's just, like they're tired. No, none of that at all. What's your next? What else you want to talk about? Because I'm trying to get to the bad parts. Go ahead.
Well, since we already talked about entertainment and they had 3 bars right there together, so I guess we'll kind of blend it in. And instead of hitting all the good, we'll mix in some of the questionable things. The bar.
No, we can stay on the good for now.
Okay.
I'm good. We can stay on the good.
Okay.
We'll definitely have enough time.
Another good thing that I will give it credit for, they had a sports bar that stayed open, showed soccer games, baseball games, all runs of sports, race car, the whole 9 stayed open 24/7. They never closed. So if you wanted a late night drink, watch any kind of sport activities, it was there. So that was one of the good things for me. I gave that a 5. Never seen that on a resort before, so I had to give that a 5 as well. And
what, you ain't on sports bar?
Yeah, the sports bar.
Okay, well, sports bar to me, I think the concept was good, but you gotta be honest that the food that they had in there that you're supposed to have access to 24 hours.
That's for the room service.
It
not necessarily sports bar.
Okay, that's fine, but they're serving it in the sports bar, and I'm just letting you know that, they didn't have room service. So that's one bad, since we're on the subject about the sports bar, because in the sports bar it's 24 hours and you can go down there and get the snacks. They had nachos, cheese and salsa, and
hot dogs,
hamburgers. sandwiches, things you could put in the microwave. But I can tell you, I want you to tell me, didn't you feed your hot dog to that cat? You fed the daggone hot dog to the cat. That just to let you know that the food that was in there looked like it's been in there. It looked like it's been in there for 24 hours.
Well, I will admit, I wasn't eating anything out of the store bar. It wasn't to me, especially late at night. I don't eat late at night anymore. But I would say I prefer room service. Now, I definitely done got spoiled with the room service because, late at night, when you're laying around snacking, you definitely want something, something late to snack on. And being able to order room service is an excellent. So, that's it.
Well, the fact that I didn't have room service messed up my morning because on vacation, I like to order room service and eat breakfast. Now, I'm not really a breakfast person, but if I do eat breakfast, I do want to have the option to eat breakfast. Like if it's there at 9:30, I'll eat it if it's there, but I'm not going to get up to get dressed to go down to the restaurant to go eat breakfast. I'll just wait until I'm ready to leave the room and then just go eat lunch. So, that's just me right there. But what other thoughts you got about the?
Well, so other than that, so they also had a nightclub on the resort, and it opened at 11, from 11 to 2. It was real nice and spacious. The bar was nice, and like I said, the only thing about that was because it was spring break, the majority of the crowd was in the nightclub was a younger crowd, and I didn't really get the vibe. The DJ didn't really move the crowd a little bit like I've seen in other clubs. I can give reference to a club we went to one time on a carnival ship, and I'm trying to tell you that was the most crunk, jam, slam, throwdown that I ever been to in a couple of years. Because when we got on the floor, we were some good friends of ours. When we got on the dance floor, we stayed up there for at least about an hour, 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
I was taking breaks, sitting down while everybody else was dancing. But that's when you got a good DJ and somebody that's
gonna keep you on the dance floor.
Gonna keep you entertained. So they didn't have that at the club. So the club was, I had to give that, maybe I have to give that a 3. And the reason why I'm gonna give that a 3 is because the DJ didn't keep people up there. Security didn't stop the kids from running up that dance with drinks in their hand. There ain't nothing worse than being on the dance floor with somebody with a drink in their hand and you back up and they spill the drink on you and all they can say is sorry, which don't really cut it.
Well, agreed, but fair enough, they had just finished the neon party, which they had been partying for 4 hours straight. So right after that was when everybody went to the club. So they was probably like, okay, y'all, we've been partying for the last 4 hours. The DJ might have been tired, but either way. But I mean, well,
no
yeah.
Excuses.
Excuses. Well, that's fine. Now, let's talk about the drink, and then we'll finish our review. So here we have the Moscow Mule. This is with vodka. And just so you know which spirits that I use, this is Kettle One. Kettle One is actually a family-made premium vodka, and there it's a Dutch family. And it's actually distilled from 100% wheat. And it is actually is 80% proof. And the name Kettle One is actually named after the very first, after the original copper pot still, which was actually named Distiller Kettle One. So that's where the name came from. So this is actually good. They also, now let me tell you this, for those who have watched my videos before, the name Diageo has came up before. Some people may pronounce it Diego. I say Diageo because I'm just pronouncing every letter that's in the name. And he has his hand in everything. So he owns 50-50 of this company. Literally 50-50. Even though the family runs it, it's a 50-50 joint venture partnership with Diageo. So you hear his name again, there he goes. And this is in the Moscow Mule and the Espresso Martini. This one here is the Singapore Sling, and this is with Hendrix Gin. And Hendrix Gin is actually from Scotland, and it was launched in 1999. And it's a premium gin, and it's actually known. What makes it special is, yes, all gin has juniper in it, but it also has a lot of botanical flavors in it. So, and the name of it actually this was actually named by a lady who was 110 years old in Scotland. She was the oldest woman in Scotland. She actually named it after the family's official gardener. You know, so who knows? You think the gardener was a boyfriend?
Could be.
On set. So, now, I know we made these cocktails, but you always really, it's beneficial to taste the liquor that's in your cocktail first, so you know what it tastes like, and then taste your cocktail. So, you good with that?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to get you a shot glass. And I want you to taste Kettle One. Now, he's a Ciroc dude, as you can see. He said he's not, but this is all he buys. And as soon as it depletes, he's going to come home with 2 or 3 more bottles of it. But he says he's not a Ciroc person.
I will say Ciroc is kind of diffused real good, but to me, Puffy did a good thing. You can't beat it. You go to a lot of places, people looking for it, but the flavors, if you're a mixed drinker, you can't beat that. You gotta love that.
Okay, well, let's see how you like the Kettle One vodka. Okay. Just so you know, I'm not a vodka drinker like that. I'll drink a chocolate martini, but that's pretty much it. You don't like vodka by itself, do you?
Mm-hmm.
So why do you like it in the mixed drink?
Because I can drink it better. First of all, vodka don't have you that bad hangover in the morning. Some people it do, me it doesn't. So I like vodka, but I like my drinks mixed with vodka.
This is the Moscow Mule. Ginger beer, vodka, and whatever was in that thingy there. I do have the recipe. But this doesn't, to me, it doesn't taste as good as the actual, like if we made it from scratch. So, yeah, you taste that. What do you think?
Yeah, it tastes about like a beer.
Okay, so the World Traveler Drink Challenge, Moscow Mule, thumbs down. What do you think?
Let me try one time. Not a mule, more like a donkey. So that's not a mule, more like a donkey.
But you still drinking it though.
A little donkey.
But you still drinking it though. Go on and drink. He said he don't like it, but he was still drinking.
It was decent. It was decent.
Okay. So
but not a mule.
That's the Moscow Mule. So let's now try the Espresso Martini. Now it's green in the bottle. It looked like it was brown, but so this is sort of strange. Let me see. Okay, what I taste the coffee, but it's like a fake flavored coffee. Sort of like, have you ever had candy that had a coffee flavor to it? That's what it tastes like. Like it was a melted down piece
like
of
that
coffee.
black licorice?
No.
That no black licorice taste.
Yeah. Taste it. It does, like that's all you taste is that one is the Espresso Martini.
Yeah, it kind of tastes like old boot. Ain't nothing express about that. It
Yeah.
kind of tastes like a wet sneaker that's gonna hit you in the face when you change your clothes. That's what it tastes like.
No.
It does.
So,
Old boot.
Espresso Martini.
Old boot. That's what
No.
it needs to be called.
Okay, so this one is the Singapore Sling with gin. Let's see what this tastes like. Okay. It's complex. It's not nasty. It's when you first put it in your mouth, you taste nothing. And then it's not until after you swallow that the taste lingers on your tongue and it tastes like... I can't describe it. Let me let you taste it. You tell me, what is that taste that you taste? I actually like that the way that the Hendrix gin is, because the Hendrix gin isn't overpowering. But I think the botanicals in the gin is mixing with whatever's in that Singapore Sling. And it's almost like it's not supposed to be together. It's like that type of flavor.
That's more like dirty left.
It is not that bad.
I'm gonna tell you.
I'm not going to drink it, but it's not that bad.
If I order this, I'll definitely be sitting on the bar and looking at it, not drinking it. Yeah, give me that donkey bag. I don't want that.
You want the donkey?
Give me the donkey. That other stuff was nasty.
Okay, so this is nasty, but guess what? I need a drink, so therefore, since I need a drink, then while we finish this review, I'm gonna drink my old fashioned, okay? Which is, I'm a brown liquor drinker. Would you like a different type of drink?
Yes.
And what kind of drink would you like, sir?
You got a martini?
What do you mean? Okay, I can make you a chocolate martini. How about that?
No, I don't want chocolate. I want an apple martini.
Okay.
Whatever.
Well, anyway, let's finish speaking on the...
Okay.
So we're on the subject. Let's talk about customer service and staff.
Now, the customer service and the staff was very good. Like I said, it was just excellent. So we went to the state. They had 5 restaurants on location. Everybody has a steakhouse. The restaurant setup was a little different because the hotel was an open air concept. So the whole hotel faced the water and the doors would open up. So it had an open air concept, but it had the same thing with the restaurants. So you had the steakhouse on the end, you had the buffet in the middle, then you had the Asian, then you had the Italian, and then you had the Greek. And it was like...
Are we talking about customer service or food?
Yes, I'm going to get to the customer service.
Oh, but we talking about the
Yes,
food now?
yes.
Okay.
So what, and I said that to talk about this, so they'll tell you when you checked in, you didn't need a reservation for the steakhouse. So we tried all the restaurants there, but the steakhouse, food was just excellent, cut and dry, pretty decent. So when we got there, so we found out that people got in line for the steakhouse at 6, and they was all booked up by 6:30. So figure that out after day 2. So show you how the power of persuasion and a nice smile and respect for other people go a long way.
Yeah.
Talk to the manager who was running the steakhouse, and he made sure that we got in there and ate 3 nights in a row.
Yes, we did. Well, we got in the last day on you got us in the third night.
Well, the last day I got down there at 6:05, and still we got in, but we gave them a nice tip, and like I said, they made sure we got a nice table. And like I said, that to me, I think that was good because they didn't have to do that. You know, because we have been to places where they said we're booked, and that was it. They turned you right away. They didn't even try to accommodate you. And it should be easy to accommodate two versus some people had parties of 20, 25, and that's what the reason why the steakhouse couldn't entertain and hold more people, because people would come with the large parties and they would take up all the space. But that was pretty decent. I'll give that a 5. The buffet. Most restaurants, all inclusive, have a buffet. Now, the breakfast, I have to give the breakfast. Breakfast is great. Get a breakfast, I give that breakfast a 5. Lunch, I give it a 3. And dinner at night, I will give it a 4. You know, so that right there, like I said, the buffet, it just didn't float my boat a little bit, because I'm gonna tell you, the children, it was the children.
It wasn't nothing wrong with those kids.
If you haven't seen Earthquake's special on Netflix, I'm not gonna say it what he said, but it was a quote that he said, and I was saying that quote every night, because when time to get to dessert and the ice cream, it was always some bad kids over there fingering the ice cream.
They were not fingering the ice cream. The ice cream was down deep in the
No, honey.
Yes,
they had
it
to
is.
use the scoop. They had to use the scoop to get the ice cream out. I see them licking their hands and sticking their hands on the scoop and sticking the scoop in the ice cream. I didn't want it. So that was something that I didn't care for. I thought I ain't like that. I don't like kids playing over nothing that I got to put in my mouth. So that was one of the drawbacks. The Asian, first time, was more or less like a buffet, but they had a lot of good stuff on it. So I give that a 4. That was pretty decent. The Italian, did we do the Italian? I don't think we did the Italian.
No, we didn't bother to do the Italian because the only thing they had on the menu that we liked was the lasagna.
Right.
Or whatever,
Right.
and I think I was fostered out.
And just to show, you know, the Riu is just such a beast with their new stuff. Their app is still running on my phone, and I can still pull up all the activities that they got going on over there now from here. Never seen that before neither. So you can do everything on that app. So I like that. But getting back to one other thing that I thought was a little bit that I didn't care for, the room was nice. The room was nice. I've seen some people in their other reviews complain about the shower having an open glass window concept. So that's for couples. So you want to see your spouse getting soaked up, you know, might get turned on or whatever. Some people like that, some didn't. It was okay with me. I like to see those silhouette view. It's okay.
Sir,
Yes.
stay on task.
I'm on task.
Can you pass me a simple syrup out in there, please? You got the blue top on. Excuse me, everybody, since he wants me to make a drink that I wasn't
right there?
prepared to drink. No, with the blue top. It's clear with the blue
Like
top.
that blue?
Yes, they all got blue tops. It's the clear one with the blue top. Yes, thank you very much.
All right. So that's the other thing. So we still into the room now. The restaurants, like I said, overall score for all 5, I would give them a 4. So let's move to the room itself.
Well, could I get my score?
Go ahead and give your score.
Thank you. The buffet, a 3. The steakhouse, 5. The Asian restaurant, and the menus for the other 2, I give them a 2.5. The grill, we didn't eat at the grill. Did you get something from the grill by the pool? You didn't get the burger or nothing like that? Okay. Well, we didn't eat at the grill because then the one day that we was going to chill out there, it started raining. So we didn't actually get a chance to enjoy anything from the grill out there. But in terms of, oh, and your hot dog from the sports bar, that's a 1. That's a 1. So.
Yes.
That's my score for the food. For the room, I actually did like the room. It was very minimal. It was very minimalist. It didn't have much. It had everything you needed, but it just didn't have. It just wasn't what I was used to. The bathroom was, of course, new, but it was just minimal. The bedroom was very. It gave off more of a Caribbean feel than being in Mexico, so it just had like the turquoise runner, the turquoise trim pillows. Everything else was white, and then they just had like turquoise, white, and gray pictures around the room. Turquoise paint in certain accent part of the walls. I did like their patio. 1 second.
Well, while she's shaking that, I will say they had a fridge in the room. They kept it stocked with, the soft drinks and everything to make drinks. The only thing I didn't care for, that I wouldn't do, they had a vodka, a gin, a tequila, and a rum in the dispenser. I don't trust the dispensers because if it's not a brand new, I ain't wanted it. Somebody could have took it down and drunk out the bottle and put it back up there. I ain't care for that because I've noticed that the dispensers wasn't locked. I've been to some resorts and dispensers are locked, so you can't take them down. Those you could take down. Excellent.
You like that?
Excellent.
Now that was made with apple Ciroc. Normally a green apple martini the color would be green, but that's because you would add the apple green grenadine in it. But since Ciroc is already apple flavored, there was no need, so that's why the color of it is not green. It looks more lemony. So it has fresh squeezed lemon juice, apple Ciroc, and triple syrup. So.
Excellent. It's better than the like about those. They could have been consumed. So when we checked in, they were not fresh bottles, and I don't trust that because if it's not locked and secure, anybody could take the bottle down, drink out the bottle, and put it back up there. So I don't never do that. I don't care what resort we go to. Never touch that. And they did keep plenty Prosecco's and I think one other beer in the fridge. But like I said, they kept it stocked. And that's one thing about I give the staff credit. You didn't have to ask. When they came in the room, they fully stocked the fridge. They didn't ever look over it. The only other drawback about the room was the language on the TV. I constantly said, hey, could you change the language on the TV? Now, most of the TV are locked out. I don't care what resort you go to, the TVs are locked out, and they do that for a reason. So Eddie and everybody can't change the function. But you could cast to the TV. So I cast my Netflix from my laptop to the TV. So that was the only way I could get something that was in English. Everything, in the sports channel was in English, but everything else, definitely Spanish.
Well, we were in their country, so what can we expect? We got a few English channels and was able to look at a few movies in English.
No, they were Spanish. What we looked at in English was what I cast to the TV for mine.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know you was casting it at the time.
Right.
Okay, well, I stand corrected then. I actually like the room. I'll give it a 4. The patio was actually very spacious. You can actually fit, now it wasn't deep. I would say you had enough space to sit out there and stretch your feet out, and not touch the rail. But the width of it, you had enough room for maybe 4 to 5 chairs and a small table. So it was had a lot of width. The room got in a lot of natural light, which is good. And they also had the, what you call it, what's the name, curtains, the
Blinds?
no, the dark, what you call it, when it's, it'll make it all the way dark. Blackout curtains.
Yeah, blackout.
So they had blackout curtains, so even though a lot of light was out there, if you didn't feel like waking up at the time, literally with the curtains closed, it was like as if it was still nighttime. So you could still get a good night's sleep during the day, or if you just wanted to wake up late, you could do that. But I actually liked the room. I gave it a 4.
Yeah, I give the room a 4. Now we still got to go back to the pool. We didn't do the pool.
Well, yeah. Well, I liked the fact that there was multiple pools. There was 4 pools.
Yes.
They had one lounge pool that was more adults. It was very quiet, no music. Then you had, yeah, it was right, adults only. Then you had the pool, of course, that had the family and the children and the activities and the, and the competitions and so forth. Then you had 2 pool bars. One pool bar was called Mezcal, the other one was called Tequila. One of them had a lot more tables in the water, where it was more like you were inside of a bar, but in the water. And the other one was more where you just had the bar and you just had like the little S lounges that was around the perimeter of the actual pool, and then there was a couple of, like your built-in bench seating around the perimeter with like a little bar, a little table so you could put your drinks on, and no one had to really hold their drinks while they were actually in the water. So I actually liked it. I liked the fact that even though they were filled to capacity, the pools didn't feel like they were filled to capacity.
Yes.
There was a lot of space. There was space for you to get on the S lounge. There was space for you to get at one of the pool tables. There was space for you to get at the pool bar. There was space for you to get lounge chairs to lounge around the pool.
Now this is one of the crabs that I hate about any resort, is when you go to it and people get up early in the morning and put a towel in a lounge chair and they don't come back to the wee hours of the afternoon, and they kind of like steal away the space to keep it from other people. Now here, it was enough lounge chair for everybody to get one. So it wasn't like people was hoarding it and you couldn't get it. But we have been at some resorts that they had the beds and all that. You had to pay, what, we was Jamaica? We had to pay, what
$200 for a cabana bed.
$200 for a cabana bed. But I mean, like I said, we went over there with a family, but we had a good time because we was split it, and we'd be about, we was like 8, 6
We was like 6 to 8 deep. Let me see, my cousin and her husband had their 2 kids, that was 4. Then it was me, you, and Yana Alea, so that was 8 deep.
That's 8 deep.
8 deep. But I mean, all of us weren't sitting on the cabana at the same time, and there was one when we had cabanas next to each other.
Right.
I think the first day we did it, we had our own cabana. And then the next time it was just our cousin, they got one.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not getting one because I'm going to stay in the water. But because it was the cabana and, the kids stay in the pool most of the time, it was just some place to just chill and put your stuff. And it was literally right there on the pool water, so on the pool perimeter. So I actually liked that. You didn't have to worry about ants crawling up on it and stuff.
Yeah.
It was close to like the greenery and the trees and stuff, and you start seeing ants climbing on the
that was
bed.
pretty. It was expensive, but it was decent. One other thing about the Riu for is the resort. When they tack on the resort fees and all that stuff, it wasn't a major. I think I paid, and don't quote me. I think it was for the 5 days we was there. I think it was like $16, something like very small.
Oh, okay.
So you can't beat that. So my thing, for it being a husband taking his wife away for a trip, men, we're not attention to details, but I am a bargain shopper. But I do like to do my research. I looked at 10 resorts and I narrowed them all down based on the amenities that they had and how many restaurants they had. Then I looked at the reviews and all that, and the Riu came up pretty good. That it was for 2021, it was best hotel for 2021 and in Mexico. You couldn't beat it. The other one that we stayed at that I like is the Carrington. Royalton.
Royalton.
The Royalton is
Royalton was good. Hard Rock was good. Those are two favorites.
Yes.
We frequent those.
Yeah, so Royalton is nice, but the Hard Rock is a beast. The Hard Rock in Punta Cana, you had to take a golf cart just to move around on that bad boy. It's so big.
It's huge.
It is huge.
You're not gonna. And remember, we got lost.
Yes.
We tried to walk back, figuring, we'll take a little lengthy walk. We can remember the way the cart came. We were lost, and it was pitch black dark, and we were like, catch a ride. So when we saw the little go-kart come back, we were like, we're gonna jump on that bad boy, because we had no clue where we was. Now, we done hit everything but the booze. Did you leave that for last? Because that was my ugly.
For last.
Okay. I'm used to, when I go to the resort, I'm not looking for, the top shelf American type drinks, right? Or like your usual retail drinks or whatever. Yes, there's resorts that have that. Most of the resorts we go to have those as well. But even the basic house liquors are things that you can relate to. And I even went so far as to say, okay, if I'm not going to get something that is an American made or a brand that I'm familiar with, it's Mexico. It's tequila. We go to Mexico every year. So I'm used to having selections of tequilas. There, they had maybe 3 or 4 different tequilas, and none of them were either like the real authentic one or any ones that I would drink. Like, it was Don Julio. Okay, Don Julio is not blue agave, so that means there's additives in there. So you're not going to give me a headache. You know what I mean? You're not going to give me a headache. So they had 2 different Don Julios, and then 2 of these other tequilas that were like very, very, very bottom shelf, and they weren't blue agave either. But they did have Jose Cuervo, which was the only thing that made sense. That was familiar. And this was the blue agave. It was the silver and the gold. Okay, so it wasn't just a regular Jose Cuervo. But the bourbon, I asked them what bourbon they had. They said Kentucky bourbon. Okay, what brand? Most bourbon comes from Kentucky. 95% of bourbon in the world comes from Kentucky. So what bourbon was it? My husband asked the bartender. The bartender's gonna show me a bottle, say Kentucky Gentleman. I've never in my life seen or heard of Kentucky Gentleman. Have you? If so, what are your thoughts about it? Leave it in the comments, because I can tell you it was like water. It looked like water. It was as light as it was this color. You see how clear this is? This is what Kentucky Gentleman looked like in the glass. And I was trying to get a Manhattan. That's all I wanted. Now, the only other bourbon they had was Jim Beam, but they had the apple-flavored Jim Beam, not the regular Jim Beam. So I couldn't even use that. And I didn't want a flavored. That's so I said, do you have Jack Daniels? No. How do you not have Jack Daniels? Jack Daniels is like the basic of the basic of the basic, no matter where you go. If they don't have any other whiskey at all, they have Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels is like, we have Jack Daniels. Okay? So I just didn't understand that. And because of their selection, and it's the same at all the Riu. Okay? Now, I'm not a mixed drink person most of the time because it's too sweet. So my thing is, I usually go for either straight on the rocks, or neat, meaning no ice. But this one, I'm like, okay, I didn't want a cocktail. I didn't want an amaretto sour. I didn't want a daiquiri. I even asked for a freaking chocolate martini. That thing came out looking like milk. There was no chocolate, no nothing. It wasn't even Bailey's. It wasn't even Kahlua. I don't know what cream liquor they used in there. But I guess they was figuring, well, if they spread the chocolate on the glass and just put this cheap milk liquor in there, that it's gonna taste like chocolate. No, it did not. It was nasty. So technically, I didn't really drink or enjoy my drinking experience while I was over there. I was actually hoping to do like a review of maybe a tequila or some sort of liquor that was over there that they had that wasn't here. Nothing. My camera stayed in the room. The only thing I took was my phone, and that was just a vlog for certain things. And actually a review of the resort is actually going to be on my other channel. I just haven't uploaded all the pictures and the video shots yet. But that just ruined my drinking experience. I just think that was part, when I go on vacation, there are certain things I look for: good food, good booze, and a good entertainment, and for me to be able to relax. As long as I have those I have to have a pool bar. Or if there's no pool bar, I need somebody coming to the pool to come take my order, because I shouldn't have to go to the bar to get a drink and then get in the pool and then get back out to go get another drink and come back in. To me, that's not relaxing. I should be able to just wave my hand and they come and take my order and bring it. I don't mind tipping, but that was my ugly. That was the one thing I did not like about the resort.
Yes, I have to give the alcohol a 2. It was, I'm not a big drinker like that. They didn't even have Absolute vodka. I was like, man, you got to have Absolute. You can't get no lower than Absolute. They didn't even have Absolute vodka. So I stuck with some that you can't mess up. I drunk amaretto sour for the whole trip.
I tasted it. They still messed that up.
It was okay.
They still messed that up.
But I tell you,
they still messed that up.
It was good.
It was good because it was just sweet, and you was just determined to just, this is good. No, it didn't. No, it's not. It's not good.
Yeah, but like I said, we give the like I said, to give the resort an overall score, I would still give it a 4. I think it is still for a family with kids. I still think it's a doable thing. Like I said, it's definitely a come up for the Riu. Because our first experience with the Riu was not bad, but it wasn't that good. But it was our first experience doing all inclusive and traveling.
They had better drinks.
And they did have Top Chef.
But we was also in the Dominican Republic when we went to the Riu.
Yes.
So yeah. That the first Riu was in the Dominican Republic, so their liquor choices, it was a wide variety, because that's when you got wheeled away in a wheelchair for drinking marijuana. But we're not gonna get into that. That's for another conversation.
Yeah, y'all might want to close your eyes when you start scratching other eyes out.
Anyway, so overall, what is your score for the Riu? 1 to 5. Overall, a 4.
Yeah.
I say a 3.5, because there was too many 2s and 3s for me. So I would say a 3. 3 for me.
No, I would definitely give it a 4. It's a doable deal. Even with the Frontier experience, it's an experience. So if you travel light, and like I like to dress up for dinner, I like to have my pool attire, I like to have my lounging attire, and I like to have my dinner attire. I like to dress up because you're on vacation. Some people don't like to do that. I think the worst thing that we kings can do when I go on vacation, I like to be Mr. Johnson. I don't want to be that joker that came from Atlanta and he's still acting like he Paul Hood. So to me, I think when you go on vacation, because like some friends of ours go and all they'll bring is a wife beater and a pair of cut-off jean shorts, and that's their attire for the whole trip. Go out to dinner, they got one shirt, and I don't like that. I think, not to knock anybody, how they want to do things, but I think at some point you need to rise to a new level, and that's what I like to do. So the resort gave me the opportunity to rise to that new level, so that's why I gave it a 4.
I think everybody vacations the way they want to vacation.
Yes, everybody.
You get some people that'll bring nothing but a backpack because they don't plan on putting on any clothes.
Yes.
You know, their whole thing is I'm going to the pool and I'm only going to put on just enough clothes to go eat.
Right.
And then that's it. They're not trying to get dressed for dinner and
right.
all
So that's why Frontier will appeal to people that take in a backpack over there with clothes in it, one swimsuit.
Because that's daggone sure the only way somebody should be flying Frontiers. Somebody died, or you just trying to get from point A to point B real quick, and you're not carrying no major luggage. You're not really going nowhere. You just need to get there and get back. Frontier is your thing, but we ain't gonna get in Frontier. You want to look at Frontier? Check out the Frontier video on my other page. So how did you like the cocktail? Well, we already know how the cocktails was, but how did you like your apple martini?
Apple martini was good. It was better than the donkey and the wet sneaker.
Oh.
And the other one, I don't know what the heck it was.
And the old boot.
Yeah, the old boot.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining us. If you would like to see more content such as this, please subscribe. If you did like this video, hit the like button. And please look at some of the other videos if you want to learn more about spirits and wines. And I can honestly tell you, please look at the cognac one. That's very informative. Cognac or the whiskey video. You can actually see that video here. Just take a look at that one. And also venture into my other channel. I'll also put that information down at the bottom. See you next time.
Yeah. To the warehouse.